So very good morning to all of you. In yesterday class, we have learned about many special types of concrete, and yesterday we already finished the unit number uh, uh, unit number 5, and today we will start the unit number 6. That is the durability of concrete and repairs of concrete. It is the unit number 6. Okay. So in unit number 4, for 4 we have completed the concrete mix design and methods of mix design. Uh, Also, we have seen the different methods of mix design, that is IS method and Dewey method. Also, we have solved the example on the mix design. Then in unit number 5, you have completed the concreting equipment techniques. Uh, Also, we have completed the uh, special types of concrete. Also, we have seen the self-compacting concrete of self-consolidation concrete. In yesterday class, also high density concrete in previous day before yesterday, and the fiber reinforcement concrete, geopolymer concrete, and the ferro cement techniques. Also, many such techniques of concreting, that is underwater concreting, or RMC, that is ready mix plant. Also, the roller compacted concrete and cold and hot weather concreting, that is extreme weather concreting, we have seen in unit number 5. So we have covered already almost what is in your syllabus, and beyond the syllabus also we have some special type of concrete we have seen, that is the reactive powder concrete, that is not available in your syllabus, but we have gone through that also. And also I have told you that you should refer online. There are many such special types and techniques of concretes are available online that are we are not using, or we are using for the special cases or special purposes. So that's why you have to refer that also. And there are some challenging situations, and you have to cope up with that challenging situations, and you have to complete the yani, beyond, you have to learn beyond the what is inside your syllabus. And there are need for learning beyond the syllabus, because new techniques are nowadays very emerging and very fastly growing world, and technology is changing very rapidly. So you have to cope up with that. Also, some engineering cementitious composites I have told you, and fiber reinforcement concrete already in your syllabus. So you have to go through that, and various concretes we are nowadays making without the use of cement, because I told you the use of cement is evaded, because the manufacturing of 1 ton of cement almost approximately releases the 1 ton of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. It is very alarming, and to reduce this footprint, carbon footprint, you have to think about, because it is directly impacting our ecosystem, and that's why global warming and ozone layer depletions are occurring. These gases are very harmful, and also it will impact on the living organisms. So that as a uh, good civilian, you have to think about the uh, our uh, uh, yeah, our Earth and our planet. It will be safe for future, and if you do the sustainability practices, so definitely that will definitely overcome the carbon footprint and different footprint of harmful gases and uh, uh, contamination into the atmosphere. So you can reduce by using a green material or the material which are very degradable. You can recycle, reuse, and recreate the material that will not impact or harmful for our Earth or our planet of Earth. So it will not. You can uh, do your part, and that is very important nowadays. So today we are going to start our this unit number six. So we have a very short of time to complete the syllabus, and inshallah in this week or in next week we will complete the syllabus. Uh, so there the unit is six is the deterioration and repairs in concrete. So what is deterioration? Deterioration means disintegration of concrete or spalling of the concrete or uh, uh, weakening of the concrete, and this term is related with the durability and a factor affecting the durability of concrete. We will see permeability, sulfate attack, acid attack, chloride attack, corrosion of reinforcement, or carbonation of concrete. These are different effects on the deterioration of the concrete. We will see in this unit. Also repairs, symptoms and diagnosis of distress, evaluation of cracks, selection of repair procedure, repair of defects using various types and techniques, shotcrete, grotting, introduction to retrofitting of concrete structure by fiber reinforced polymer or polymer impregnated concrete, corrosion monitoring and preventive measures to be taken to avoid the deterioration or falling of the or failure of the structures. So these are the related with the concrete only. In structure, if you are saying then the RCC or the structure related to concrete or the members related to concrete only, we can discuss. Okay, so these are nothing but we have to complete in very short duration, and then your all syllabus will complete. Already have given to the MCQs in unit number one and unit number two. I will also provide you the MCQs on the unit, all other units, and many MCQs are available on online. Also, you can do and practice your own also. So we will come to our main topic, that is deterioration. So as I told you, the deterioration related with the durability. And what is durability? So durability is nothing but the resistant to deterioration of your concrete. Okay, so concrete you are planning or you are doing for the construction work. It is the major construction material which is used after water. Water after water. In the world, the concrete is the next material which is used in very high level, and because it is the emerging and because the property is that the concrete you can mold in any shape and you can place in fresh state. Its property is very good in, and then after hardening also its property is very good. That's why the concrete is very important material for the construction. So, generally, the term durability is related with the resistance against weathering action, resisting against chemical attack, resistant against abrasion, resisting against the deterioration. You can term it as durability of concrete. So durable concrete will retain its original form, quality, and serviceability when exposed to its environmental conditions. So that's why nothing but you can durability outside. So you can say durability in many terms. Durability, the concrete system. Concrete system means the process of selection of material to the process of mixing and making of the concrete. And aggressiveness of the environment means the take of the environment after the your concrete is hardened. So this system yani, is start from the selection of material. So which type of binder you are using, type of binder. type binder content, and the binder means the paste in this concrete, that is cement, or sometime if you are using cementitious material other than cement, that is replacing the cement with the partial replacement or fully replacement by fly ash, slag, or GGBFS, or your silica fume rises, gas, metacolline. All these are the binder materials in the concrete, but these cementitious material have to be fine in a very very fine powder, and then only they are reactive. We are also using admixture and the mix design, and mix design is nothing but the selection of proper proportion of all the above material is termed as the mix design or mixed proportioning of the concrete. So this we have done. We are done as per our requirement or grade of concrete, or as per requirement or durability at the site. We are designing the or mixed proportioning of the concrete. Okay. Then the process of mixing or manufacturing of the concrete is the mixing, and then after mixing your transportation of concrete, then your placing of the concrete. After transportation here, your placing of the concrete will be there. I will add here P, that is the placing of the concrete. Then compaction, and also because concrete, the cement, when you are using or cementitious material you are using, there is the hydration process that need water for the curing, for gaining of the hardened mass, or to convert the fresh mass into the calcium silicate hydrates. Then that you need a curing also. Temperature affect the properties of concrete, and workmanship, finishing of your workmanship in the finishing of your final product is under workmanship, or workmanship related to from start of the mixing to end of the finishing, it will come under the workmanship. Okay, this process also affect the durability of your concrete. Proper mixing will be there, then your concrete is homogeneous. If it is not homogeneous, then segregation, bleeding, and all these effects will come into the picture, and proper compaction will be not done. And if not dense mass is observed, then there may be the permeability of concrete, and if the concrete is permeable or the porous, then 1% of void can reduce a 5% strength of your concrete. Then physical and chemical attack on the concrete, that is physically, if you see the abrasion, erosion, cavitation, freeze and thaw, these are the effect after the concrete you can uh, casted, and the structural element is ready to use. Abrasion, when there is a floor workshop or etc., erosion of roads etc., and due to the rain etc., cavitation also due to the water or another harmful gases effect, freeze on thaw effect in the colder region, where the temperature fall and reduce much differences. That is, there is the freeze and thaw effect. That is physical environment, aggressive environment that will deteriorate the concrete. Now, chemical action, that is dissolution of your concrete and the leaching of the concrete, expansion of the concrete, that will may be spelling of the concrete. Expansion may be very harmful, and alteration in the concrete, that is nothing but due to the chemical aggressiveness of the your environment. That is all about the durability of your concrete. So concrete has to function in different types of environment, some of which are aggressive or degrading to the concrete quality. Typical aggressive environments are seawater, the structure at polluted soil due to industrial or agriculture effluents, freezing conditions. uh, Design of concrete for this environment has to take into consideration the alteration that cement paste or concrete may undergo upon the interaction with the environment. The common durability problem in concrete are they are maybe the corrosion of steel in the reinforcement. This one is the very commonly done, because the concrete is not used as a structural element alone. It is used with the steel. So that's why it may be yani harmful for it may be after getting the take with the carbon, the carbonation will happen and the corrosion of steel takes place, and then it may be harmful and deteriorate, and it may be the contact between the concrete and steel may be weakened, and that will affect our structural element. Then the sulfate and other chemical attack, alkali aggregate reaction is the major problem in environment. Freezing and town damage and the carbonation, these are the different durability problems can be. Then the concrete characteristic affecting the performance, that is durability of the concrete. First one is you can say that porosity and the sorry porosity and uh, permeability of the concrete. So durability of concrete is related to its performance in the service environment. Concrete is subject to the host of durability problem, which typically result in progressive loss of mass from the surface. Volumetric change, volume changes, which can be three types, both paste and aggregate expand. The paste expand while the aggregate is inert, only the aggregate expand. These are the region where the volume changes in the concrete can be takes place. And if the volume changes in the concrete will take place, it will definitely harmful for the concrete. What is a common to all the durability problem in the concrete? The presence of water or its involvement in the reaction is necessary for the problems to occur. Thus, the durability of concrete is intrinsically related with its water tightness or the permeability. So permeability means the ability of the concrete which will pass the water from it. So permeable, if more permeable structure, more porous concrete will be there, then there is more chances of deterioration of concrete because of uh, it allow the enter the water into the concrete and they will react with the uh, mm, they will react with the aggregate, they will react with the uh, sorry reinforcement, and then problem occur. The permeability of these composites in turn related to the porosity, and paste capillary porosity is typically 30 to 40%, while normal aggregate have porosity of 2 to 3% and rarely greater than 8 to 10%. The transition zone is highly porous due to the presence of flaws such as macrocracks and bleed channels. So generally, before that also I have told you this in your concrete mass the the aggregates are there, and okay, this is your concrete mass and these are the aggregates. So what happens sometimes if the water is present in the into the aggregate, it will uprise from the surface of the through the surface of the aggregate and making a channel, and these channels are nothing but it will create a yani weaker zone. These channels are creating the weaker zone along the surface of the aggregate, and that will affect the and there is the more porosity rather than another place. So that is called as the transition zone, and it is highly porous because the water come up to the surface through these channels, and that's why it is weaken the bonding between the aggregate and the paste, and that will affect the strength characteristic, durability characteristic of concrete, and that's why that that should be the interfacial transition zone between the aggregate and the paste should be uh, good. Okay, so that is nothing but you have to. So, so there are very factors, the mixed characteristic or water to cement ratio and presence of admixture. These both are very important, and these are the factors they will affect the durability of your concrete. It may be the mixed characteristic, it may be water to cement ratio. Also, the type of cement and aggregate you are using that will affect the blended cement perform better. Blended cement means the mixed cement with the cementitious material or one or two cement when you are in all environment. Special cement such as type B, that is sulfate resistant cement, you can use where the uh, so super or super sulfate cement you can use where the sulfate resistance required. If the sulfate is present in your soil or near the seashore, you have to use this type of special cement to reduce the attack of the sulfate. As far as aggregate are concerned, low density material is susceptible to freezing damage, and the bond with the cement paste will govern the quality of interfacial zone. So definitely the bonding between the paste and the aggregate that will govern the quality of interfacial zone, and some aggregates have better bond than others. So the type of aggregate is also very important, and that will affect the durability of your concrete. Presence of cracks and microcracks. Cracks in concrete could be structural or non-structural, thermal or shrinkage cracks, etc. Most often, the non-structural crack occur as a result of poor material selection, lack of adequate quality control. There is no use having a HPC between cracks, since cracks will serve as a channel for the ingress of water and other chemicals or gases to enter it from that channels, and that will affect the durability of your concrete. So this is also the very bad impact of already cracks available into the concrete. Then the test method for the durability. There are many test methods for the durability measurement of durability factor from dynamic modulus of concrete subjected to freezing and thawing. This is ASTM C666. This code will give you how to find out the measurement of durability factor from dynamic modulus. STM C641 measurement of length change of concrete subjected to F/T cycle and node has a hash as ASTM C666. ASTM C67172 for visual assessment of concrete surface, uh, that is calcium chloride solution subjected to F/T cycle, and STM petrographic analysis of concrete determination of air content, spacing factor of the bubble, etc. Can be found from the ASTM C457. Then test on aggregate. There are different tests of on the aggregate. There's a petrographic evaluation of the aggregate surfaces, and then sulfate soundness test, mass loss of aggregate test subjected to alternate drying and weighing in sodium sulfate solution can be combined with the FTA cycle. And the specific gravity absorption test is common for the aggregate, or it is also needed for your mixed progression of the concrete. Then corrosion of steel, the mass loss of concrete due to scaling or delamination. These are the effects. STM C876 corrosion potential determination of half cell potential rebar with respect to the resistance electrode. Corrosion rate measurement, polarization resistance test, and electrochemical impedance spectroscopy test, etc. can be performed. Cyclic polarization and conductivity measurement for reinforcement concrete. Also, it is very common that rapid chloride permeability test is also very common, and it is done to check the corrosion of your steel. Sulfate attack test you can do to find out, and that can be done, and then alkali aggregate reaction based on the different codes of the STM. You can see it been used, and yeah, you can observe the so good concrete perform in aggressive environment can only come about the combined action of number of factors. Uh, these factors they will affect the durability of concrete also. The proper mill design, reduction of cracking, optimum cover to thickness, right cover to the reinforcement, adequate compaction and curing, quality of construction, and the correct maintenance. All these the factors they will affect the concrete durability, and the factors can be considered to perform well uh, for durability or high performance. The major issue with the RCC, that is reinforced cement concrete, is the corrosion resisting bar. So this oxidation of this steel bar is embedded in the concrete mass, and you can say anode reaction. cathode reaction in alkaline medium. So this alkaline solution and then oxidation of Fe2 plus 2E minus ion. So O2 plus 2H2 and 4N, then 4H minus ion will produce. And this reaction in ionic current OH Fe2 plus then E minus will electron current cathode and steel and this the concrete core is there, and they will affect the ferrous hydrate oxide ion combine to form the rust product, and this rust product will likely to try to uh, leave the concrete, the bonding between the steel and the concrete, and this occurrence of the corrosion may be very harmful effect on the concrete surfaces, and they will lift the concrete. You can see here the spelling of concrete is takes place. You can see it is very clearly visible. You can see this. I will draw with the blue line. You can see these are the nothing but the spelling of the concrete. The concrete already uh, left the uh, uh, bonding between the steel and the cover and the steel bars. You can see this is a rusted steel bars is I am showing they are exposed to the surfaces. Okay, and due to the spelling of the and you can see the spelling of the concrete will takes place due to this rusting of the steel bars. Okay, you can see the very clearly this rusting is take place, and you can see this spanning of the concrete. The concrete is the cover concrete is already left the main element. Okay, so that is the reason that we have to avoid the corrosion of the reinforcement. So these are the concrete products, relative volume of corrosion products, how it is happened. You can go through if you need the chemistry. You will read it patiently, and you can do. It's all the process of uh, chemical action reaction due to the corrosion of the concrete, and there is some rate of corrosion also. Uh, protection mechanism against the uh, corrosion. Production mechanism against the corrosion. Calorization. This process involves the plating of steel with zinc and having a higher electrochemical potential compared to the iron. So zinc having a more potential uh, rather than uh, ferrous. So that's why the zinc plating can be done for the concrete, and that will avoid the corrosion of your concrete. Cathodic protection, an external voltage or current is supplied to the steel to keep it cathodic and preventing oxidation from the occurring. Use of stainless steel very high and produce a stable passing film. Use of epoxy coated steel. Use of corrosion inhibitors. It will come under the chemical admixture. Adequate depth of the cover. Cover to reinforcement be good, adequate, and that will avoid the corrosion. Good quality concrete with low permeability also helps uh, uh, because it avoids the ingress of harmful gases at that location. If there is good quality concrete and good cover to the reinforcement, that's why the cover for reinforcement is also related with the exposure condition or environmental condition of your concrete where you are where you are placing the concrete. Okay. Many students they are joining late. Now the very only 20 minutes left, and they are joining the class. This is very bad thing, and you don't have the respect. You are just coming to lecture for your attendance. You don't have to learn. The people, if they want to learn something, they will join before time. That is the respect for the teacher. You all having no attitude of learning. You are just coming for the lecture for your attendance. Only few students are there. They are joining the lecture on time. As I released that meeting, and they are joined. Well, others students they are just they don't want to learn. They are just coming for their attendance. Or might be they are listening or not. I don't know. I don't know those things. There is join on time lecture. Already we are on the verge of finishing of your syllabus. You don't have the respect for the faculty. You don't have the respect for the college. You just uh, uh, they need a certificate for engineers. Now the chemical attack on the concrete, generally the sulfur attack, you can say sulfuric acid is very sulfate attack is very deterioration of the concrete by means of the reaction between sulfate ions and the hydrated cement products. Hydrated cement product is nothing but calcium silicate hydrates. Okay. So these are based on the calcium and silicate. That is the silicate that will give the strength to the concrete. Calcium and silicate both they are in large quantity available in the cement. So sulfate attack is divided into two categories: external and internal sulfate attack. External sulfate attack is when the source of sulfate ion is external to the concrete, such as when it is from groundwater or seawater. So the sulfate from the groundwater or the seawater or from the soil when will attack on the concrete, that is the external sulfate attack. So sulfate in the form of sulfur, sodium uh, with the magnesium and with the calcium also you can see here. These are the Na2SO4, MgSO4, CaSO4 and NH42SO4 are some detrimental sulfate sources that are primarily found in the ground water contaminated with the industrial effluent and the agricultural products. So these sulfates are from the different sources and they are available into the ground and they will attack the concrete uh, and that will be detrimental uh, to the concrete. An internal sulfate attack, on the other hand, occurs when a late release of sulfate within the concrete takes place. In this case, the formation of ettringite occurs that concrete has hardened and this results in distress. So internal sulfate attack is the sulfate present inside that will release uh, the sulfate within the concrete takes place, and in this case the formation of intrinsic that the white patches we will see on the concrete surface that is nothing but due to this and that will uh, occurs after the concrete is hardened and this result in the distress that result in the expansion in the concrete and that will be result in the distress in the concrete and that will be the harmful for the concrete. These are the reaction of the sulfate attack. You can see action on the calcium hydroxide, CHNS plus 2H, CSH2 plus NH, and then CH, that is sodium sulfate is N, magnesium sulfate is denoted by M, and can react with the CH calcium hydroxide to produce a gypsum. There is CH2, sodium hydroxide NH, and magnesium hydroxide MH or bromide according to the following approximate reaction. So these are harmful and they are doing the expansion in the concrete and that will release or cause of the distress in the concrete. Action on the aluminates and their hydrogen products. So that is also you can see the gypsum forming according to the reaction 1 and 2 can react further with the hydrate calcium aluminate that is C4AH13 that hydrates calcium sulfoaluminate that is monosulfate or unhydrated tricalcium aluminate C3A to produce intringite that is C6AS3H32 according to the following equation. So these equations you can remember. And this phenomena is called as intringite corrosion. This phenomena to 1 to 5 is called as intrinsic corrosion. The formation of intrinsic is said to be expansive. Expansive nature that it can be expand the concrete, and too much expansion of the concrete will cause a deterioration in the concrete or spalling of the concrete. So these are the phenomena, and from which the concrete uh, will be detrimental or can be harmful. So some scanning electron micrograph photograph depict that attack of cement mortar by sodium and magnesium sulfate solution are presented below. You can see here the the attack due to their cracks are developed. You can see the cracks are visible in electronic macroscope. So these nothing but you can see here also you can see in trachyte this E is denoted here also. Here some parts of this concrete that will produce the intrinsic and that will harmful for the concrete and expansion of concrete in takes place here. So many such techniques are nowadays available. You can study the concrete inner surface also or surface also. You can do the X-ray or the gamma rays or can pass through hefty analysis, and that will uh, be able to study the microstructural uh, part of your concrete. Okay, the Brucite B and the gypsum G. You can see these white patches and the MSH magnesium sulfate hydride MSH, and N is the magnesium, and magnesium is responsible for the uh, uh, expansion of your concrete, and that is harmful or detrimental to the use of C3A cement uh, can improve the resistance to the sulfur attack, improve the resistance to the sulfate attack. Okay, the use of uh, very low C3A content, however, is not good in the case of attack by the chlorides. And C3A can bind the chloride that penetrate into concrete, thus reducing the free chloride content that can cause corrosion. Thus, a moderate C3A content should be prescribed in such cases. Lowering of C3S might also help, since this would reduce the amount of CH that forms. The best protection against the sulfate attack is to have a low water to cement ratio in concrete. Blended cement that lead to a consumption of CH need not to be good in case of magnesium sulfate attack. Use of high alumina cement that is good for sulfate resistance. If high alumina cement is good for sulfate resistance, if the conversion of the hydration product does not occur, and then super sulfated cement. In this cement, all the available elements are converted to intrinsic during the hydration itself. Thus, there are no excess elements present to react with the external sulfate ion, and that will reduce the sulfate attack. Seawater attack is also nothing but sulfate attack can also take place in seawater. However, the mechanism may be altered due to the presence of high concentration of chloride in the seawater. Uh, so typically, seawater attack is characterized by the formation of higher amount of brucite, uh, higher amount of brucite compared to the groundwater attack. In addition to the chemical reaction involved in the sulfur attack, physical deterioration of the concrete may also occur to the cycles of drying and wetting. The tidal zones in concrete structures are especially susceptible to the alternate drying and wetting, which may lead to crystallization of the salt and In the surface pores, the salt will ingress and the development of expansive pressure that may cause the spalling of the concrete. Spalling यानी अ, छोड़ देना कंक्रीट रेनफोर्समेंट को छोड़ देती है या आउटर जो कंक्रीट है इनर कंक्रीट को छोड़ देता है बॉन्ड लूज हो जाता है बिटवीन द पेस्ट एंड द एग्रीगेट and that deterioration can take place. The action of waves can further aggravate the surface concrete. That already we have discussed. Then another part of this is the acid attack. Acid attack is also very harmful and deteriorating to the concrete. The attack of sulfuric acid occurs most commonly in sewers. Sewers means our drainage line where we are transmitting the uh, this sewage water through the sewage to the uh, sewage treatment plant. So the sewers they are transferring the sewage, and there may be a take of sulfuric acid, where a lot of sulfides gases exit owing to the large degree of microbial action takes place. So sulfuric acid creates an acidic environment in the concrete in which the primary cement phase CSS Intringite are extremely unstable, and gypsum formation occurs when sulfuric acid reacts with the CH calcium hydrates. The loss of intringite and the softening of the structure occur as a result of gypsum formation and destabilization of CSH gel, that is calcium silicate hydrates. And destabilization causes deterioration or deterioration in the concrete, and falling of the concrete can be or swelling of the concrete can be takes place. Carbonation is another harmful effect in the concrete. That is, carbon dioxide diffuses into pores of concrete and reacts with the calcium hydroxide present in the uh, calcium silicate. As a result, the alkalinity, the pH of concrete is reduced. Reduction of pH causes the passivity of reinforcing steel, and the protective layer of the reinforcing steel is destroyed due to the carbonation, and that's why that is also harmful for the delayed intringite formation. The intringite formation is during the process of manufacturing of the concrete, then that is good and that can be done. But if it is delayed, then the many such uh, harmful effect will be there. So delayed intringite formation is more of problem with the modern cement since the clinker SO3, that is SO3, that is sulfur oxide level has increased dramatically over the year, and use of sulfur fuels also grown. Thus, it is all more essential nowadays to restrict the temperature rise in the concrete, not only from the steam curing but also from the use of rapid hardening cement. Most of European countries have adopted standard restricting concrete temperature, so that we can also do, and we can reduce uh, the delayed intrinsic formation. Yeah. This alkali aggregate reaction we have also seen in our uh, first unit, where we have studied the aggregate. The aggregate react with the KOH and SiO2 react to which the presence of moisture, and alkali silica gel. No definite composition is uh, available. Chemical formula you cannot define in this case. So alkali may come from the cement, chemical and the mineral admixture, impurities in the aggregate or in the water, and the reaction itself needs the presence of moisture. So the first step, this reaction happens on the surface of aggregate, where SiO bonds are dissolved by OH minus ion. Thus, the silica becomes available to combine with alkali to form alkali silica gel, and that is harmful for the concrete, and that is called as alkali silica reaction. The alkali silica gel formed from the above reaction could also contain some uh, calcium plus 2 ion. The ratio of calcium plus 2 ion to alkalis Na plus or K plus ion Gel determines its expansive nature. Expansive nature यानी it can be expand unusually, and usually the higher that CO2 plus, the lesser expansive the gel. If the alkali hydroxide concentration falls below 0.3 m, the reaction tends to slow down and stop. The rate of reaction cannot be determined from the amount of gel forming, since it does not have a distinct composition. Hence, there is no chemical distinct formula uh, to know the amount of gel forming. So the amount of expansion in an alkali silica reaction depend on the type of aggregate. So it depends on the type of expansion. Some aggregate pacimum type relation is uh, observed between the percent expansion and the percent reactive agent aggregate. While for others, the percent expansion increases constantly, cons- consistently with an increased proportion of reactive aggregate. So this depict in the, you can see the figure number 7. Also, there are many, uh, you can see the cracking will occur due to the freezing and thawing related to damage. FTN is nothing but freezing and thawing where the very uh, the temperature uh, uh, of the outside temperature and inside temperature and temperature uh, is very abruptly changing in the colder region, that where the freezing and thawing will happen and the crack formation or barrier. So all these are the issues related with the durability of the concrete, and this is what about all about the durability and the factors affecting the durability we have seen today. Durability is nothing but resistance against the uh, 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 deterioration, or the uh, resistance against the weathering action. Can say that that is nothing but durability of the concrete. तो हम मोर ड्यूरेबल स्ट्रक्चर किसको बोलेंगे? इसके अंदर जितना इतनी ज़्यादा क्षमता रहेगी एक्सटर्नल एजेंट और गैसेस और एलिमेंट्स को रेजिस्ट करने की, दैट स्ट्रक्चर और दैट कंक्रीट वी विल से दैट मोर ड्यूरेबल कंक्रीट. So this is all about the durability of concrete, and every year there is compulsory question on the durability. So you study. I will share this material, and many videos and materials are available on the internet. Just you have the passion for the learning. If you have a passion for the learning, you search that, and you can benefit from that. So thank you for this. Unit number 6. Our A part is also over today, and only the B part is remaining. That is repair of the content, and we will finish as soon as possible. So we will stop today. If you are in doubt, you can ask with me. Otherwise we can. If you have any question, you can ask with me. You don't have any question? Are you there? Your cameras are always off. How I can see you? You are in lecture or you are doing some other work. So when you joining the lecture, you should on your cameras.